Usually it's not a good idea to release an album or maybe two albums, and then later on down the road, once you build up your fan base off of those two albums, 90% of your fan base loves those albums, or 99% actually loves those two albums. It's usually not a good idea to come out and be like, hey, actually those are mediocre pop albums and I think less of anybody that enjoys those albums. Usually a stupid, dumb, idiot move. That's what Doja Cat is trying to do, and I understand that there's going to be people who are like, you don't understand. Doja is an epic troll. It's actually really funny. And it's like, okay, I can accept that humor is subjective, okay? There's some people that will laugh for like 30 to 40 minutes if they see someone slip on a banana peel, okay? It's subjective. I like some offensive humor that other people don't like. Fair enough. That being said, I feel we can call it out as cringe because it's just my opinion, you know what I mean? This whole like, you will refer to me as McSquigglebottoms the Third from here on out. Congratulations. Are you 12? Are all of your fans 4 years old? I don't know. Maybe they are. That's fine. But that seems to be the level of trolling. You know what I mean? It's not like really sophisticated. It's just, ooh, I'm a wacky girl. Look at me. She's going crazy. Like, you know that meme of the girl where she's got like a bag of pizza rolls on her head from the frozen section in the store? And the girl that uploaded the picture, she was taking a picture of her friend. Her friend was the one with the, the thing on her head. She took the picture and she's like, oh my God, Rebecca's so crazy. It reminds me of that. It's just like, wow, so epic. You got really crazy. I can't believe you would say, refer to me as McSquigglebottoms the Third. But the thing is, right, is Doja Cat, she puts out a tweet. She's like, hey, these two albums, the two albums that made me popular, that got me to where I am today, they suck. I didn't mean anything when I made those albums. And to me, that's not a good idea, even if you're trolling, because you're kind of putting forth this message of like, hey, now I'm making a rap album, but who's to say in 3 years, when maybe rap isn't as popular and there's some new genre, you won't be like, it was just a cheesy rap album. I just followed all the typical tropes and you guys fell for it. It's like, ugh. And I guess I don't really feel too personally like attacked because I'm not like a fan of Doja Cat. I don't love or hate her. I just, I calls it as I sees it, as they say. You know what I mean? I hate when people try to play both sides. It's fine if you sell out, in my opinion. If we live in a capitalist society, if you have decided, hey, I have a great singing voice, I know a producer, I'm going to make a pop album that's going to be top 40, I'm going to hit the charts, it's not going to be like a passion project, it's just going to be something to make money. I wouldn't even judge you for that, to be honest with you. I understand. It pays the bills. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it pays the power bill, it pays for the mortgage, all that stuff. You get me? I feel that. The problem with me, in this situation, comes from the fact that you're kind of playing like it was a sellout thing, but then you're also trying to pretend like you were never about selling out. Yet you put out two albums, you know what I mean? There's no issue with like coming out and being like, yeah, they were pop albums, but I was just trying to make something that was really popular. Now I'm going to kind of do my own thing, you know what I mean? And it might not be as popular, this experimental album, but I've made some money off of this and now I have the freedom to experiment. I don't have to worry about getting a regular job. I'm a millionaire now. My album is still making me money. My older albums are. So now I'm going to kind of go on and do my own thing. That makes sense to me. But she's not doing that. She's basically trying to have it both ways, where she's trashing her past work and saying, I don't like my past work, which is something that is super common with most artists. Most artists, as soon as they release something, they hate it. But, it's common to do that. But she's basically saying, and anyone that liked it, you're stupid. And it's like, even if it's trolling, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's just, it's weird. It's like, that's like the one thing you don't do. Is trash talk your core fan base. Imagine if this channel blew up and I had 10 million subs at the end of the year, and then at the end of the year I was just like, hey, I hit 10 million subs, that's really cool, but anyone that enjoyed those videos that I made, the 10 million people that watch me now that probably came along because of those videos, you're idiots for liking those videos. That would be stupid. It wouldn't make any sense at all, but that's what she's going for. And I have a feeling, and I don't want to make this too long, but I have a feeling this kind of comes from like the women's pop community and this ongoing issue that the old record executives created, where they feel like every 3 to 5 years they have to do something wacky or change their image in order to continue to be popular. And I remember my girlfriend was watching like a Taylor Swift documentary or something, And, I'm not a huge Taylor Swift fan, but she did say something about the fact that she feels every 3 to 5 years, she feels that she has to reinvent herself, or else nobody will want to listen to her anymore. And I really do feel like this is an old record label thing. And these record label execs, man, you can't trust them. I mean, look at what happened with Kesha. She's been molested by her producer. There's a lot of, record label execs that take advantage of people. And Britney Spears is really the ultimate example, because they brought her in. They're like, you're young, you're attractive. I think she was like 16 when she was, first coming around. You know what I mean? She was 16, which explains why I thought she was super cute, because I was also young. Like I was also underage. So I was like, damn, she is really cute. But now, like as an adult, you kind of look back, you're like, she was 16 when they were doing that stuff. Look at what it's done to her, like mentally. You know what I mean? They take these young people in and they tell them, oh, we can give you the world. They know you can sing. So they get you with a producer. They will pretty much condone any type of bad activity. You know what I mean? And they know you're young and you fall for peer pressure and stuff like that. They know they can get you on drugs. They know they can make you dependent on them. And they take advantage of you. And then you have a Britney Spears situation where she's not mentally okay. And the big issue is the record label and all the people involved that have turned her into this when she was just, an innocent young girl. You know what I mean? And it's so, I can't get over the fact that let's see, like, when Britney Spears was popular, I was super young. So I didn't find it, like, super weird because I was super young. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, she's hot, but I'm like, I'm a kid. Now as an adult, it's like, when she was 16 when she was filming some of these music videos and walking around in skimpy clothing, that's insanely weird. That's so insanely weird, but that's what that record label does. And Madonna's also kind of a good example because people clown Madonna every time she gets plastic surgery. And don't get me wrong, it's sad, but that's the main way I look at it. Is it's just like, it's super sad that she's a 60-something-year-old woman and she still feels the need to continue to get work done. It's like, just be old. You're old. You're experienced. You have wisdom now. Like, you can probably still sing. I mean, I don't know if Madonna can still sing like she could used to. I don't know. The problem is I'm not a huge fan of a lot of pop stars. But I know that I've seen the one movie she's ever been in. I think she's been in more movies. But I know that she's at least a somewhat decent actor. She could sing. Probably still can. But she's got this idea in her head that she needs to keep getting work done, because if she doesn't, then no one's going to listen to her, which is like, and that's what makes her into what she is now. And I feel like it's a carryover from like those old days. And I feel that's kind of what Doja Cat's doing, but she's still young. And I feel like she should be outside of that. She should be outside of the whole record label thing, because she kind of built up her thing on her own. Yet I still get these vibes of like, oh, I've got time for me to, do something silly or goofy or stupid. Time for me to like act out, dress as a cat or something. And it's like, bro, I don't know. Like, are you truly being you? And here's the problem, right? If she is being her, that's fine. If she's just this goofy person. However, it's reaching a point where it's like, is this really her? Or 3 years down the road, is she going to look back at everything that she's doing now and say, that was cringe. I can't believe anyone liked me. If you liked me for that, you're cringe. You understand where I'm coming from on that? Because people change, right? But most people, when they change, they just tell people, hey, I thought this was really cringe. I look back and I was like, oh man, that video was cringe. I'm trying to do new things. A key part of that is to not be like, oh, and by the way, now that I think the stuff that I used to do is cringe, you're cringe for liking it. It's not a good idea, man. It's how you built up a core part of your fan base. What are you doing? What are you doing? And, at the end of the day, man, I don't hate Doja Cat. I honestly feel like her mediocre pop albums where, they're not super default and like formulaic in the way that other pop albums are. So I don't hate her, you know what I mean? But I'm also not like a huge fan. I don't feel targeted when she's like, anyone that enjoys my old music is an idiot, because it's like, okay, well, I felt indifferent about it. But it's just, it's rough, because it's like, if you're going to do this every 3 years, are you going to reach a point where you ever feel like anything you've ever made has been worth it? And maybe you don't care. Maybe you only care about money. And that's fine, capitalistic society, make that money. But I don't know, man. It's kind of annoying and cringe and weird. And then, the whole refer to me as McScruffle bottom. Just because you're trolling doesn't automatically make it funny to everybody. And like I said, I'm not going to say that it isn't funny in general, because there's probably some people out there. And I've seen some Doja Cat fans who are like, oh, I love that she's trashing me. I love that she called me an idiot. She's so epic. But, don't get mad when the vast majority of people are like, listen, I get that you're trolling, but I don't think it's funny. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people that come to me who are like, they get mad at me because I don't even make offensive jokes very often. You know what I mean? I just laugh at offensive humor, and they'll come to me and be like, why would you laugh at that? And it's like, well, I just, we're different. We're on different algorithms. You know what I mean? I don't know why you would watch a video that says there's going to be offensive humor related if you're not into offensive humor. I guess you just, like most people, were cool with offensive humor until it was about you or someone like you. I've noticed that is becoming more and more common, even with offensive comedians. There's some offensive comedians out there that they really enjoy being able to make offensive jokes, but if somebody calls them out for something or says something offensive about them, then they draw the line. They'll make jokes about everybody, including kids and whatever, but when somebody makes a joke about their kids, that's a problem. And it's like, it's an interesting world that we live in. But anyways, Doja Cat, stop, it's cringe. That's all I got.